Of this in the recording. Okay, so we'll begin. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today. Very auspicious discourse of the entire chapters of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It's a very rare opportunity that we all can summarize the entire Bhagavad Gita in 2 weeks. It's a great fortune, and that shows that our very sincere and focused attention. So thank you so much for joining. Today we are going to cover the 11th chapter, which is titled as the Universal Form of the Lord. So before that, we'll start with our invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya Bhagavadi Uttama Sloge Bhaktir Bhavadi Naishtigim. So we are understanding the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is titled as the Universal Form of the Lord. So we go one by one. So in this chapter, we would see, and many times we heard that the Lord is great, and but we don't know how Lord is great. So in this chapter, especially revealing that how Lord is great. So we'll pray also, pray our prayers to the Gurudev. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salagaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karodi Vajalam Bangum Langayade Girim Yatkrupa Tamakam Vandem Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Guys, listen.
Let me, Krishnamanda Prabhu, can you mute everybody?
Yes.
Yeah, let's just see. Yeah. Okay. So we'll begin. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we'll begin with this chapter. So many times we heard about the word called Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. And sometimes we say the Brahman is the impersonal aspect of the Lord, and Paramatma is the localized aspect of the Lord, and Bhagavan is the personal aspect of the Lord. And this can be a realized yogi, a realized jnani, or realized devotee can understand the Lord in these three aspects. That's why it's mentioned that in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vadanti tat tat vidat tattvam etyanam avyayam brahmedi paramatmedi bhagavanidi shabde. So there is a confusion always that when it comes to the chapter of 11, universal form, whether it is an impersonal form or it's a personal form. In the Bhagavad Gita, as it says that in the Sanskrit form, which is known as Vishwarup, Vishwarup is known as Rup, means a personal form of the Lord. So, in order to avoid this confusion also, Lord reveals that his form is universal form, but it is not an impersonal form. Impersonal form is different. That is all-pervading aspect of the Lord. But this is in this universal form, Lord is also has his all-pervading aspect, but he is showing the universal form of the Lord, his personal aspect. So always wanted to remember that. Then we also, from the previous chapters, we hear that Krishna is revealing to Arjuna that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and the definition of the Supreme Lord also revealed in various scriptures. And Lord is also mentioning that to Arjuna in the previous chapters from the 7th chapter onwards. And especially from the 7th chapter onwards, we are in the section of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate of all. And from the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that even Karma Yoga concludes or culminates to the Bhakti Yoga. Even Jnana Yoga culminates to the Bhakti Yoga. And we can see that even the entire chapter of Bhagavad Gita, chapters of Bhagavad Gita, each chapter culminates to that one particular point is known as the Bhakti Yoga, or the loving devotional service to the Supreme. So it is very important to understand that the definition of the Supreme Lord and who is the Supreme Lord. And as a layman, we are all the practitioners or the students of Bhagavad Gita. So Lord is the source of everything. In the Vedanta Sutra, we know that it is mentioned that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yadaha. That means Lord is the source of everything. Everything comes from the Supreme Lord. It's from the Vedanta Sutra. And then from the Brahma Samhita, we also understand that Krishna is the source of everything. And then Krishna is the cause of all the causes. So undoubtedly, there is no doubt. And we should not leave any doubt that who is Lord. So it's very important to understand, and that we understand from the previous verses and chapters, especially the most confidential knowledge, the chapter 9 that was completed on Friday. And it is revealing that who is the Lord. And that is Krishna is revealing himself to Arjuna that Aham sarvasya prabhavo madaha sarvam pravartate. I am the source of all the material and the spiritual, and everything emanates from me. So it's very important to understand, start from there. And that's where also why Krishna is revealing to Arjuna is the reason for that is Arjuna also in a perplexed situation from the beginning itself, that Arjuna was in an identity crisis. Arjuna does not know who he is, who he was, or what he is, and what is his duty, what is his purpose, and completely perplexed, completely forgot everything, and his mouths were drying up, seeing all this. And why it is happening? Because of our attachment to this material world. So here in this chapter, and Lord is also revealing to that who he is. And then Arjuna also again has perplexed and bewildered because of his material attachment and because of his fear. And the fear generally manifests because of our material attachment. So it's very important to understand that how we can come to our original understanding or real understanding of who I am, what is my purpose, who is the Lord, what is his material nature, and what is the activities that I'm supposed to do, and what is the kala, the time. All this is revealed by the Bhagavad Gita. So we are going each section and one by one. So it's very important to understand this, that there should not be a doubt about that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see by the end of this chapter, we can also see that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as is mentioned, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's in this 10th chapter, 8th verse in the previous, and it is revealing that the Supreme Lord revealed himself that I am the source of everything, and everything emanates from me. And Krishna is the Supreme Controller. And sometimes we have this, very vague understanding, or because of our ignorance, because of our proprietorship, because of our sense of ownership, we say that no, I am the controller, so I have the rights to control. I have some position, so I can control. So this is basically a very, because of the ignorance, because of the darkness or ignorance, or we are not in a pure knowledge that is all happening. That's what is exactly Arjuna was also in the positions of that, seeing all these kinsmen. Arjuna is also, taking that I am the controller. So, I don't want to fight, or I need to fight. I don't want to fight because he's putting himself in the center of everything. That because of me, that this war can happen. Because of me, the war cannot happen. So we always put ourselves in that condition, that position. Then everything then surrounds with that understanding. Then that is a wrong understanding. And then because of that, we have develops attachment and the fear and the anger, anxiety, the problems, and so much. So here, Krishna is the Supreme Controller, and we can understand that in various other verses, especially from the 9th chapter and the 10th chapter, Krishna is revealing that Maya Dhyakshana Prakriti Suyade Sacharajanam. Everything is, I am the superintendent of everything. Everything. Madaha Paradaram Nanya Kindijastu Dhananjaya. In everything. And there is no truth beyond me. So, Bhagavad Gita, the words of the Supreme Lord emanating from the mouths of the Supreme Lord, revealing this transcendental truth. The devotees, this is our greatest fortune that we are understanding this and revealing this. It's not an ordinary. Ordinary souls cannot understand this. Only by the mercy of the Lord that we can understand this. So we'll go further. And then Krishna is the supreme maintainer. And also that we see in this chapter, the 11th chapter, Krishna says that I am the beginning, I am the middle, I am the end. And I am in the middle means I am the maintainer. Beginning means everything created from me. And I am at the end. That means everything, annihilates because of me. So in this chapter, Krishna is revealing that as well, that Krishna is the supreme maintainer. And also in this chapter, Krishna is also mentioning about Krishna is the father, and everything emanates from him. He is the seed-giving father. He is the creator. And also in this chapter, Krishna is the supreme creator. And as we can, Arjuna was seeing that everything emanates from Krishna. So this is, and also this reveals the fact that Krishna is omnipresent. So it's very important to understand what is omnipresent. Omni means always, all the time, everywhere. Everywhere. There is not even a, second of time that Krishna is not there. Krishna is all the time. He is another. There is no beginning for him. And he is other. He is original. And he is another. There is no end for him. So he is omnipresent. He is always there. There is nothing that which we can separate from Krishna. Or in one sense, we can say that everything is Krishna's, or everything belongs to Krishna's. That we understand from Srimad Bhagavatam, that Krishna's potency, the supreme potency, the Parasya Shakti Vivideva Sruyade, that supreme Lord, the supreme potency, or the supreme potency of the Lord is manifested in various ways. So that we can also see in this chapter that Krishna is omnipresent. And then Krishna is omnipotent, that everything is according to the Shakti, according to the potency of the Lord. Everything is tied to that supreme potency, and that potency is in variegatedness. There are different kinds of that potency. That's why we can see that Krishna is in everything, but at the same time, Krishna is aloof from it, and his potencies, his energies are expanded everywhere, and everything manifests according to the will of the Lord. Everything emanates from him, but he is not directly there, but also his energy is everywhere. So this we can understand that also, that we can see in this chapter that Krishna is omnipotent. Omnipotent means he is always, powerful. And his potency is, because of his potency, that everything here making manifestations and unmanifestations, making life and making everything possible, and there is not even a single thing that which we cannot separate from Krishna. Everything is Krishna's creations. And even everything is creation. All the ingredients for the creations as well as Krishna's potency. This is what it is we have to understand. And especially in this chapter, Krishna is revealing this fact. That's what we need to clearly understand and very much focused on that. Because of Krishna is revealing this fact of Krishna is omnipresent, Krishna is omnipotent, and Krishna is omniscient. And it's mentioned that. So Arjuna saw in that universal form of unlimited mouths, unlimited eye, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many diving upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments. Many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. If hundreds of thousands of suns were raised at once into the sky, their audience might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person, that universal form. So the devotees, what it's revealing really is that Krishna is omniscient. He is in everything. He is in everywhere. There is not even a tinge of anything that we cannot separate from him. He's omniscient. Is always there. Because of him, everything is happening. So this chapter also reveals this fact. So let us come to that point, how it is linking to the previous chapter, that is the opulences of the Absolute. We know that the 10th chapter is completely Krishna is revealing to Arjuna about his opulences. And Arjuna was, Krishna was revealing this Chatusloki Bhagavatam from the 10th verse, 8th verse, or 12th verse, and Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Madhaga Sarvam Pravartade, like that. Then Arjuna was completely understood. Because of the Krishna's transcendental words, Arjuna completely understood about that who is the Krishna is, who the Krishna is. He's the Supreme Lord. That's why in the 12th and the 11th and the 12th verse, Arjuna is revealing and addressing to Krishna that Param Brahm, Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, you are the ultimate abode. Param Brahm, you are the ultimate source of everything. Param Brahm, Param Dham, you are the ultimate abode. Paramam, you are the supreme. Pavitram, you are the pure. Paramam Bhavan, you are the original personality of Godhead. And Arjuna was revealing that this to addressing to Krishna in this way. That means Arjuna is understood who Krishna is. But here, when Krishna was revealing this, and Krishna again was further revealing to Arjuna that I am the sun, I am the moon, I am the splendor, I am the spark of everything, I am the shark, I am the ocean, I am Airabad, I am Chaisrava. And Krishna was revealing all this, what all his very prominent opulences to Arjuna. That means Krishna is revealing that revealing to Arjuna that he is everything and he is in everything. And it's all what we see. And we can see that in the last verse of this 10th chapter, 42nd verse, Krishna is revealing that to Arjuna that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. So devotees, this is a very, very deep and very confidential or very, very confidential understanding this. And when we open our eyes, when we look at with this transcendental knowledge, when we see everything and we can see that, understand that this all Krishna pervades this potency, Krishna is pervaded in everything, and Krishna supports everything. So in this, when Krishna revealed this one, then Arjuna wanted to see how Krishna is pervaded and how Krishna's form is pervaded in everything. So Krishna, and when Krishna revealed this to Arjuna, then Arjuna was sitting on the chariot, Krishna was sitting on the chariot, and Krishna was driving the chariot. So then naturally, Arjuna will have this doubt in the sense that it's not really a doubt, but Arjuna wanted to see that Krishna revealed all this to Arjuna and Arjuna could understand. And then Arjuna wanted to see that how Krishna is entered into these cosmic manifestations, how Krishna entered in each and every atom. So that's where the beginning of this, and this, especially this chapter, has 5 sections. The 5 sections are, first section is actually from 1st 2 verse to 8 verse is Arjuna's request and Krishna's descriptions of the universal form. So we can see that here in this Arjuna's request as Krishna, wanted to see how Krishna is entered into these cosmic manifestations. So it's a genuine question. It's a genuine doubt or genuine way of to understand. So it's naturally. So when Arjuna asked these questions, their devotees, and as we know that this is all for us. This was all created, this all scene is created for the generations of the people, those who are coming into this age. As we know that this original Bhagavad Gita is revealed 120 million years ago to the sun god Vivaswan, and then it came down, and in the due course of time it's lost, and Krishna is revealing again so that it will go down to the generations. So this way that we also can understand that the Krishna's opulences and how Krishna is entered into each and pervaded in each and every, in universes. Then we can see that in this chapter from the 9th verse onwards to the 31st verse, Sanjaya's descriptions of the Arjuna's vision. So we know that the context of Sanjaya got this spiritual vision by the mercy of spiritual master Srila Vyasadeva. And then Sanjaya was explaining and describing what is happening in the battlefield to Dhritarashtra. So here, when Krishna was revealed this the universal form and describes about the universal form to Arjuna, Sanjaya was also seeing that. So then Sanjaya also describing about the Arjuna's vision. So that is where it starts from the 9th verse onwards, the 31st verse. Then there we can see that from the, then we'll come to that point, and then then Krishna is telling to Arjuna about that, I am the time, I'm the Kala Roop. So we also can see that Krishna is revealing his Kala Roop, Kala Shakti to Arjuna in this chapter. That's why Krishna, that's where the 32nd verse or 34th verse, Krishna is revealing that time I am become my instrument. So everything that devour, Krishna devours everything. And Krishna is revealing that except Arjuna, except Pandavas. Otherwise, Krishna, because of Arjuna, is a very dear devotee of the Lord. So in any case, what is revealing this because of, in any case, when the devotees are never perished. So Krishna is also mentioning this in the 9th chapter, my devotees never perishes. So here also that confirms when Krishna revealed that except Pandavas, everything will be diminished, everything will be, annihilated. So this also reveals that when those who are dear to the devotees, dear to the Supreme Lord, dear devotees, then they never perishes and Krishna will always protect them. So then we can see that from 35th verse onwards, 46th verse, Arjuna's prayers, and it's beautiful prayer. And there we can see that Arjuna is, trembled and fearful, and Arjuna offering the prayers. And then that we will also see that. Then finally, from the 47th verse onwards, 55th verse, this is the most important portion of this section. So this chapter is that it culminating to the Bhakti Yoga. That means because of, and Krishna is revealing that to Arjuna as well, when Arjuna requested to Krishna that please reveal your original form, and that's what is I would like to see. And when Krishna then revealed to the original form to Arjuna, and Krishna mentioned that, behold this form. And this is very rare to achieve this form, very rare to see this form. Only my pure devotees can attain this. So this is where this chapter is concluding. So it's starting from Arjuna's inquiry, then Krishna is revealing that his universal form, how Krishna is entered into the cosmic manifestations, and then seeing this, and it's not an ordinary form. And Krishna says that this I will show you with my internal potency. This word used in the Sanskrit known as Atma Maya. Then even in order to see that, Krishna is also giving a very divya chakshusha, very divine vision to Arjuna as well. So only those who are able to, and as Arjuna is requesting to Krishna that if I am able to hold this, please give me that vision so that I can see you, I can understand you. So dear devotees, and it's mentioned that this is all possible because of the Krishna revealing this form, because of he is showing his internal potency, Sangaranga Shakti. As we all know that when we come in contact with the devotional service, chanting the holy name, hearing and remembering, all is this internal potency. So only through the internal potency, we can see the internal potency of Krishna. So this is the compatible situation. So that's why it is also mentioned in this chapter, Bhakti Yoga is nothing but entering into his internal potency of the Lord. And this transcendental truth, Krishna is revealing in this chapter. So we will go in a little bit detail about this each words, and then summarize that. And then in beginning, Arjuna was, Arjuna Vaja. Arjuna is saying, and Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about the most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled. So because of the mercy of, it is mentioned here, because of the mercy of the Lord, that one can eradicate this ignorance or this illusion. So dear devotees, it's a greatest truth that we are all under the illusion. We are all under the spell of this Maya or the ignorance. And then because of we are completely covered by this external energy or the Bahiranga Shakti of the Lord, as is mentioned that Krishna has two potency, Antaranga Shakti and the Bahiranga Shakti. And because of we are all covered under this Bhagavad Shakti, then we are not understanding the original nature of the Supreme Lord, and we are not understanding our original nature of the spirit soul or the individual living entity. So because of this, we are covered. So only by the mercy of the Lord, one can dispel this illusion. So that's what it is. Even in the first verse, Arjuna is revealing that because of your mercy, and also Arjuna is acknowledging, and Arjuna is also acknowledging Krishna's mercy. Only by mercy of you, Krishna, that I can understand this and I can dispel my ignorance. And we can see that how the Arjuna was in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, or the beginning of before the battlefield, in the battlefield before the battle starts. Krishna was completely perplexed. So now Arjuna is slowly understanding what is his position and who is the controller, who is controlling everything, and how things are happening in this world, and who is actually really maintaining all this. So Arjuna was understanding. So now Arjuna is, revealing that to Krishna, that now I am, Nashta Moha Smriti Labdha. I am dispelling my illusion, and I'm getting my original Smriti, original remembrance of everything. So as always, we remember this one because of our ignorance, that because of our forgetfulness, that we are not coming to the Krishna consciousness, or we are not understanding the real fact of this entire creations. So in this verse, the Arjuna is revealing, and these two aspects of it. One is only by the mercy of the Lord one can dispel the illusions. Another is only by the Krishna's grace, and this knowledge is so powerful, and because of this knowledge is powerful, that we can dispel our ignorance. So it is revealing this in this first verse. Then the second verse, it says that Atmanam Parameshwara. It's as Arjuna is saying that, "O Supreme Lord, your form is so beautiful, and you are before me, and you are describing yourself." And as Arjuna was mentioning, revealing that, I wish to see you have entered into the cosmic manifestation. I would like to see. So, there is Srila Prabhupada mentioned the purport and why it is Arjuna revealed this. Dear devotees, we have to understand this. The Krishna is Andaryami. Krishna is seated in everyone's heart. And Krishna also knows that. Krishna understands the past, Krishna understands the present, Krishna understands the future. And Krishna knows well and better what is actually happens to, especially for the devotees, in each and every moment of. And because of we don't know everything about ourselves, but Krishna knows everything about ourselves. Only Krishna knows. Nobody else can know about ourselves. What is our future? What is going to be happen? All those things. So Krishna also take this chance and inciting Arjuna, right? Inciting Arjuna to, reveal this, so that Krishna can reveal this to Arjuna. So by the mercy of Krishna only, even Arjuna is asking this question that, "Oh Krishna, please reveal this to me." And by the mercy of Krishna only, that Arjuna can understand everything. That's why Arjuna is revealing that only by mercy that we can understand. That's what is also the point we need to take it, that because of the mercy of Krishna, that Arjuna is even asking this question. That's why. And why? Krishna is revealing, Krishna is inciting Arjuna because of in the future that somebody says that I am the Lord. Krishna knows that what is going to happen in the age of Kali. And then, this is what it is, that he has to show that the universal form, that Krishna is pervaded in everything. But as a person, an impostors, when we even claim that, I am the Lord, then it cannot possible. So, like this, and there are many reasons that in order to convince others, and in order to give that transcendental knowledge to Arjuna, and also to stop the imposters that they claiming that they are the Lord. If they are the Lord, then they have to pervade in everything. So Krishna had a plan that's why Krishna has incited this to Arjuna to ask this, to reveal this universal form. So then we go through these different verses like that. In the fourth verse, Krishna says that, and Arjuna's, this is also where each words in this chapter, and especially under Bhagavad Gita, is very, very prominent. And here Arjuna is not demanding to Krishna. So here it is mentioned that, if you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So here Arjuna is completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord. Arjuna understands that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And here, even though Arjuna is a very dear friend and devotee of Krishna, and Arjuna is not demanding to Krishna that, oh Krishna, you showed me this one. I'm so and so. I'm the great warrior of the Pandavas. I'm the great warrior here. Why don't you show your form to me? This is not the attitude. So the devotees, when a person goes further in the knowledge and in the spiritual knowledge and anything, then when we have that, he becomes so humble. And because of only in the mood of humble and surrenderness that Krishna reveals himself, and Krishna always dear to such devotees. And Krishna is showing here, and by mercy of the Lord, also that Arjuna is showing here to Krishna that his surrenderedness, his complete surrender to the Krishna. And Arjuna is saying that if I am able to behold your cosmic form, So Arjuna knows that his position, he is a Jivatma. He is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. But if I am able to, so very humble, very showing his humility and surrenderness to Krishna, so Krishna is pleased with this behavior. So this is very sincere and it's coming from the heart of Arjuna, not sincere. It's not that, I am so great so that I can show this, I can see this, and I can tell to everyone that, oh, I saw this very, very, universal form of the Lord. This is very much sincere desire to that, see that, and also in order to glorify Krishna, this is also a devotee always remember this way. And in order to glorify Krishna, in order to reveal that to the devotees, a devotee always has such a humble mode of understanding Krishna. And this is the relationship between Krishna. Krishna is always sees that the complete surrenderness. That means that is our original constitutional person anyway. We are the eternal part and parcel of the Supreme. So here, then further, Krishna is, then Krishna is describing, this is the section that Krishna is describing to Arjuna that, what this universal form is. Krishna's various forms and universal form is, Krishna is revealing to Arjuna that this is transcendental. As I mentioned, that this is a personal form, transcendental form. It is eternal, but it is in the sense transcendental, but it is temporary. Temporary in the sense Krishna is eternal. So, but in this material universe, for the Arjuna, this is temporary manifested form, that especially the universe is temporary. So that this universal form is also temporary, that in due course of time, it also goes back to the body of Mahavishnu. But this vision that Krishna gave to Arjuna, this is just to see the Krishna's universal form. So this is also temporary in that case. Oh, this is not eternally situated. This universal form is not eternally situated in the spiritual sky. Universal form is not possible to see by ordinary men because of Krishna is not empowered. Only by the mercy of Krishna. Those who have the mercy of Krishna can see. And then, there are, in the universal form, there are so many Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, and so many Ashwini Kumara. There are so many that we can see that in this universal form. So then we can see that Sanjaya is describing about the universal form, unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited ornaments, weapons, garlands, by the Lord's inconceivable potency of the Lord, that Arjuna is seeing this. And Sanjaya is describing this to Dhritarashtra, that there are thousands of suns who are arising like in a horizon, and because of the glaring effect that Arjuna even couldn't see the Supreme Lord. So Sanjaya was explaining this to Dhritarashtra in this way, and this because of the mercy, because of the divine vision of Arjuna could see all this in this universal form. So then we come to the section that it's also mentioned that Arjuna is telling to Krishna that, and this is the time Krishna has revealed that universal form to Arjuna. Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence. Dear devotees, we need to understand that this all effulgence or glaring effulgence in this world is also that Krishna's splendor, Krishna's effulgences. But it's manifested through various ways. Like sometimes we see that through the lights or the sun, but this is nothing but Krishna's, the effulgence that which comes out from the body of Krishna. And even there is a sunlight, if you look at, we cannot see anything. So like that, this is thousands of suns like that, emitting this rays. The same way that effulgence has come from the Supreme Lord, that Arjuna could see that directly through his eyes, but it's actually glaring. So in these various verses, Arjuna is addressing to Krishna in such a way. And you are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. So the devotee is that Arjuna is sitting in the chariot. And from sitting in the chariot, Arjuna is seeing that even everything that within in the vision of the Arjuna, in the Arjuna. And because of the mercy of Krishna, that is possible. Sometimes people think that how is it possible? I cannot see this maybe like 100 meters, 200 meters. But dear devotees, when you have a spiritual vision, this is all visible, that we are not seeing through our eyes, but we are seeing our spiritual divinity or that spirit soul. Spirit soul is anganiyasya sagalendriya vridhimandi, that every anga has the potency to understand, to realize, to see things. So this is the spiritual nature, but because we are materially covered, we don't see it. So here it's all revealing that it's possible to see, even sitting at one place, that all this wonderful, how the Lord is pervaded in each and every aspect, every atoms of the Lord. So then further, Arjuna is seeing this one. There is no limit to the extent of the opulences. And Anadi Madhyandam Ananda Viryam. You are supremely powerful. You are supremely beautiful. Supremely, you are Ananda. You are Adi, Ananda Madhya. You are in the middle. You are in the beginning. You are at the end. Ananda Bahum Shashi Surya Netram. Your eyes are glaring with the sun and the moonlight. And it's like that. So Tejas Vishwamidam Tabanda Tejas, that the glaring effect is everywhere. And it's showing revealing to the Arjuna. Then we see the beautiful form of the universal form. The Krishna is seeing that there are fires are coming out from the mouth. And it's, as you know, Krishna is revealing that to Arjuna, that all living entities are at one place. And the demigods are there. And, unlimited. And everything is possible that by the mercy of the Krishna. So this way, Arjuna was seeing this universal form. And then we can see that how Arjuna is revealing and addressing to Krishna, that Krishna is without origin, without middle and end, numberless arms, and the sun and the moon, the eyes blazing fire coming from the forth, the mouth, and all those things. This is we can imagine that. We see that the picture, and because of Arjuna could see, we also could understand that how Krishna is manifested in each and every, pervaded in each and every, every aspect of this world. So there are, the demigods are now seeing this universal form. The great sages are offering their prayers to this universal form, the Supreme Lord, and then everything is perplexed. And Arjuna is also very much trembled with the fear because of the fire coming out from the mouth of the Lord, and then the soldiers are actually entering into the mouth of the Lord, and somebody is stuck within the teeth, and then the blood is oozing, and it's a fearful situation. It's a fearful vision, and Arjuna was trembling with fear like this. So here we can see that how Krishna is shown that in divine vision to Arjuna, and then we can see that there are thousands of arms and the bellies. And see here, Krishna and Arjuna is sitting on the chariot. At the same time, Arjuna is seeing that the vision, that thousands of arms, thousands of bellies, thousands of heads, and thousands of mouths, and the fire emanating from each mouth, and the people are going inside the mouth and coming out. And this is the vision that we can see even in every moment the deaths are taking place. It's entering into the mouth of the Lord. And also at the same time, so many people are coming out from the mouth of the Lord, from this nature that they are taking birth, and there are thousands, they are going inside the mouth of the Lord like this. So we can see that Arjuna loses his stability. Arjuna trembled with the fear and tremble and bewilderment, and all this we can see that. And then when Arjuna saw that the people are dying in the mouth of the Lord, and Arjuna was mentioning and trembled with the fear. And then this is the time Krishna was mentioning that time I am, Bhagavan Vacha, and Krishna, Supreme Lord speaking, time I am the death of everything. Everything devours me. Everything devours, and everything is come into me, and that because as in the form of a death. And this is done by the Kala Rupa, or the Kala Shakti of the Lord. So Lord is also revealing that there is nothing sustained without the potency of the Lord. Everything is under the control, and everything is actually by the potency, by the power of the Lord, that Kala Shakti, that everything is going back to the Lord. So Arjuna is seeing all this in the universal form of the Lord. Then, we can see that Kalosmi, that means time I am, and Kala means that Kala Shakti, the potency which devours everything. So I am the great destroyer of the world. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, I am the great destroyer of the world. Nothing can stop. And that's what we can also see, dear devotees, that there are volcanoes, there are so many things. And there are, even the universes can collide in one point of time. And even scientists calculated there are some point of time, it all collides, each other, everything diminishes. And where it goes then, it all enters into that, the body of the Lord. And it's a Kala Shakti. And every moment these changes are happening. And as you can see that, and it's what it's mentioned that here in this word, that it's mentioned that the all is actually nimitta matram bhava sabyasachi. It's all just a flickering of, it's a flash of second, it's all manifesting, it's all happening. And is everything is according to the will of the Lord. Nothing can be separated from the Lord. That's what is the clear understanding from this chapter, dear devotees, that we have to, everything is actually as per the will and the will of the Lord, and everything is actually as per the plan of the Lord. There's nothing that we can separate from this world. But when we think, then when we say that, then what is our position here? Yes, we have a position as a living entity, separated part and parcel of the Lord. So we have the spirit, the free will, or the independency, or the free choice, or the freedom, or the free will that we have. This free will is actually to realize ourselves, to see that where it's all come from and what is the source of everything. And this what is all this free will is given to us to understand this, so that we can select our choice properly, and then we can attain our supreme destination. So here in this way, like that, Krishna is completely revealing to Arjuna, and Arjuna is also understanding, and how Krishna is entered into every aspects, every pervaded in every aspect of this cosmic creations. Then we can see that further, and the sections of then Arjuna's prayers actually. So Arjuna says that you are not perishable, you are most magnanimous, you are nothing can be covered, and you are the original Devesha, you are the supreme Nidhanam, your ultimate rest of every, you are the Brahman, you are the ultimate Brahman, knower of everything. This is Arjuna's prayers, seeing all this, dear devotees, and this is the understanding we should have. This is the understanding we should have, seeing all this and understanding all this, and nothing happens without the will of the Lord. And everything is, especially in this verse, the mercy of the Lord. And He is omnipotent, He is everything maintained by Him, and everything comes from Him, and nothing that we can separate from Him. So all because of His mercy, and this is the foremost understanding we should have each and every moment. That's why we can dispel our ignorance. This is the why and the reason that Arjuna asked this question, that we can dispel our ignorance and illusion, so that we can situate in our original consciousness. That original consciousness is nothing but that Krishna is the cause of everything, Krishna is the source of everything, that nothing but. So this is what is we need to understand from it. And Arjuna is offering this praise like Bhishma Dev, when Krishna reached to the Bhishma Dev, before Bhishma Dev passing from this world, and Bhishma Dev was giving such a wonderful prayer. And this is called Sahasranamam, Vishnu Sahasranamam. And each and every word is actually glorification of Supreme Lord, that how the Lord is manifesting and maintaining. And we cannot even understand Krishna. Even Arjuna couldn't understand completely. Even nobody can understand Krishna completely. But only by the mercy of the Lord that we can understand some extent, and we can then engage ourselves and situate completely into the very much in devotional platform. And dear devotees, that's our ultimate constitutional position, that engage and understand and serve the Supreme Lord. That's where it's actually culminating this chapter with that, the Bhakti Yoga. So the Bhakti Yoga in this chapter, Krishna is revealing in such a way that the only then when Arjuna was perplexed and bewildered with this fearful form, that Arjuna was requesting to the Supreme Lord that, oh Lord, oh Vasudeva, please show your original form. Then Krishna said that, okay, let that be. When my devotee requests, then let that be. So here Krishna is mentioning about a devotee. Devotees request, Krishna always, respect. And then Krishna was showing that. Then finally, Krishna was showing this beautiful Shyamasundara form like this. And Krishna is, so that initially then Krishna wanted to show that. Then Krishna showed this, his, four-handed Vishnu form. And then later Krishna showed his, two-handed Vishnu, two-hand form, very beautiful Shyamasundara form like this, that we can see here in this slide. So in this, it's over here. So Krishna is showing this is a two-hand Vishnu form, and it's mentioned that Krishna is both matter and spirit, dear devotees. Nothing that's separate from it, but in a different forms actually. So the gigantic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna. And his pastimes in Vrindavan as two-handed Shyamasundara playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the original Lord, and Krishna is revealing to Arjuna that, behold this form, and this is very rare to see it. And why Krishna is also revealing that only by unalloyed devotional service to me, dear Arjuna, that one can see this form, or one can behold this form in his heart. That's why Premanjana Churida Bhakti Vilojanena, Shanda Sadaiva Hrideshu Vilokayandi, M Shama Sundaram Ajindya Guna Swarupam, Govinda Madi Purusham Damaham Bhajami. This is what it is. When the devotees are having anointed with the unalloyed devotion in his heart, then only that one can see Krishna. Shanda Sadaiva Hrideshu Vilokayandi. And this Krishna is revealing this truth to Arjuna because of Arjuna is a dear devotee of Krishna. So, dear devotees, with this, I would end here. This is 7:45, and if there are any questions that we can ask after our class, after the 8:30, and I hope that we can understand. And then it concludes here actually with this note that what is the conclusion? And the form of Krishna is essential and supreme. Krishna exhibits universal form, which is temporary, form of time, which devours all. Even Vishnu is actually 400 is come from the Supreme Lord. And Krishna's form only can understood by his unalloyed devotee. And even though Krishna is revealing himself in such a way that, but is a permanent, is transcendental, eternal form, is that the two-handed Shyamasundara form. That's what his devotee has to aspire, and only by the devotional service one can attain this transcendental, always can see this transcendental vision and transcendental form. So this is what is culminating with this chapter, and to culminate with that unalloyed devotion to the Supreme Lord. That's the reason that Krishna revealed this form to Arjuna and for all of us. Thank you, devotees, for your time. Thank you so much for your listening, and Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sorry, I took 1 more minute. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Simhesvara Prabhu. Wonderful narration of chapter 11. I will go to Akhilesh Krishna Prabhu. We'll take questions at the end if time permits. Akhilesh Krishna Prabhu, are you there? Let me see. I think you might be muted. Oops.
Yes, Ranjan. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. You can take it over.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam